name is Vince, and I'm here to give you part of my story. Unfortunately, it took two severe circumstances in my life to come to God. Well, the marriage started out well. We met and married in Indianapolis. Then my job took me to Cincinnati and then up here to Chicago. Things got a little bit more tricky financially because it was, almost 3 times as expensive as it was in Cincinnati. Started getting caught up in the material world, and things went south. We wanted some things that we probably couldn't afford, and so we, robbed Peter to pay Paul, as they say, money from the left pocket to the right pocket, and then I did something that I shouldn't have done, and that led to a lot of problems, and that led to our divorce. Did something illegal, got caught, was investigated, convicted, and so I had to spend some time in prison. And so I went to Stateville for a while, and that was being in a cell that was 6 by 10 with 2 people, 2 bunk beds, and a toilet and a sink. And we were allowed out once a week for an hour to go outside, and then once a week we were allowed 15 minutes for a shower. Other than that, we were cooped up in that room. And I guess that was the lowest point, being treated subhuman like that. And ironically, being treated subhuman, the only book we were allowed to have was the Bible. And so I read that Bible from cover to cover, and since we couldn't have pens or pencils, whenever I felt a verse speak to me, I turned over the page. And it wasn't about religion. It was about how we were supposed to have our relationship with God and how we're supposed to have a relationship with others. And that really struck me, because growing up Catholic, we don't read the Bible. The focus was obeying the rules. And I just read it and I just cried and cried, knowing that I needed God, because my way certainly wasn't working. One of the things that really struck out at me as I've been reading the Bible more and more is Matthew 6, chapter 25, where it says, "Therefore I tell you, do not worry about your life, what you will eat or drink, or about your body, what you will wear. Is not life more important than food, and the body more important than clothes? Look at the birds in the air. They do not sow or reap or store away in barns, and yet your heavenly Father feeds them. Are you not much more valuable than they?" And, one of the things that connects me to this story is the fact that I think, that's how it got me into trouble in the first place, is the fact that I was after material things, and it, in a way, ruined a lot of things in my life. But I was definitely headed down the wrong path, and if I continued, who would have known what could have happened? And this was his rebuke for me, to be able to open my eyes to his goodness. And his word was able to help me turn all that around, slowly but surely. But when I got out in 2010, I had $1.68 to my name, and my rent was due the next day. And I'm just working part-time for this person, and he offered me the job to do another freelance thing for him, and I said yes, as I always do. And he said, "I'm going to pay you up front." And so I got paid that day, and I was able to make my rent payment. Now, all my business dealings with him, before and since, never did he offer to pay me in advance. And it's like, that wasn't coincidence. Okay, well, the gospel's really changed my life in immeasurable ways. I totally live my life differently than I used to. I come to realize that God forgives me for everything that I've done. I know He's forgiven me for things I haven't even done yet. And knowing that I'm saved, and knowing that, He died for me, and that there's nothing that I could do to earn heaven except say thank you for doing what you've done for me, and just trying to live my life to honor His Son. I just try to respond by saying thank you, and let me pass this on to one more person.